We're approaching the halfway mark here in Season 3 of our realistic Borussia Dortmund career mode, which means it's time to take stock of how the season's going so far. In terms of our objectives, we set ourselves some fairly lofty expectations this year, looking, for example, to improve on our previous 2 seasons by finishing in the top 3 in the Bundesliga. But to be fair, we are currently on track to achieve that objective, just 2 points behind Leverkusen in second and 6 points behind Bayern Munich with a game in hand. We also set ourselves the task of reaching the knockout stages of the Champions League. And once again, we are making good progress, currently on track to qualify automatically and avoid the playoff stage altogether. In terms of our youth academy, we were looking for plus 10 overall growth for players aged 23 and under. We've actually achieved that objective already. No single player has experienced a significant growth, but we have so many under 23s, and a number of them, 11 to be exact, a +1 on the season so far. And our final objective was not really an objective as much as a competition which Max Bayer is handily winning at the moment. 23 goal contributions in 19 games compared to Yusufa Mukoko's 9 in 12. And looking at the wider squad, it has very much been our front four that's carried us this season. Bayer, Adeyemi, Mukoko, Gittins, all having fantastic years so far. Beyond that, we have very few contributions in terms of goals and assists, just 2 and 1 from Sabitzer, couple of goals from BVB, and I think those even came in the same game if I remember correctly. It's been a slow start for Thiago Thomas, just 3 goal contributions in 15 games, and just a goal here and there, an assist here and there beyond that. Max Bayer does continue to lead the way in terms of goals though, on track to win the Golden Boot not only in the Bundesliga, but in the Champions League as well. Robert Lewandowski is not far behind though, and he will be one of our opponents in today's episode. We'll be taking on Barcelona in the Champions League, and that will be our featured game. I'll also show you highlights of our match against Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Bundesliga, and we'll be quick simming games against Freiburg and first here against Hoffenheim. Today's video is sponsored by Enigma Football, the UK's leading supplier of football shirt mystery boxes. Whether you're looking for a fun way to expand your own football shirt collection, or you're looking for a unique gift for the diehard football fan in your life, Enigma Football have got you covered. Their mystery boxes start at just $34.99, which is almost half the standard retail price, and you can be 100% sure that their shirts are authentic because they get them straight from the clubs and manufacturers themselves. And you can reduce that price even further by using code LAMBZY at the checkout for 10% off your first order. That code applies to any single football shirt mystery box, and it also applies to the first month of any mystery box subscription package, where you'll receive a fresh new shirt on your doorstep every single month. You can be sure you'll get a shirt that you like too. You can ask Enigma Football to send you a shirt from a specific league with a specific color or pattern, or to avoid certain teams. And if you still don't like what they send, you have 60 days to either return or exchange it. So head over to Enigma Football and place your order today. The link is in the description, and be sure to use code LAMBZY at the checkout for 10% off your first order. Shout out to Enigma Football for sponsoring the video and for hooking me up with a couple of shirts, including a Dortmund shirt for this series. Now let's get back to the video. Feels like every match at the moment is high stakes, but that match against Barcelona in the Champions League especially so. So we will be featuring a slightly rotated 11 here against Hoffenheim. Omaracic, Benzabaini, each coming in to the back four. Arne Engels coming in to the midfield, and Matoma and Thomas joining Bayer and Adeyemi up front for this one. And we do, despite the rotated 11, come away with the victory. Max Bayer with yet another goal. He literally just cannot stop scoring. And Thiago Thomas, who he said has had a pretty slow start to his Borussia Dortmund career, also gets on the score sheet. That brings us promptly onto our featured game of today's episode against Barcelona in the Champions League. So without further ado, let's head over to Signal Iduna Park and see 2 of the best strikers in the world right now, the 2 top scorers in the competition, go head to head. So I think we've made somewhat of a splash in the Bundesliga this year. But I think we have an opportunity today to really make a name for ourselves on the world stage. Barcelona, maybe not quite the titans of world football in recent years that they have been in years past. But a win here in the Champions League would still be a major scout and would certainly signal our intentions. We are looking not just to be the plucky underdog, the third, fourth best team in Germany, and kind of perennial European football contenders, but never really with a chance of winning a European trophy. I think a win here against Barcelona would signal our intentions that we are eager to change that. We're looking to be the best team in German football. We're looking to take home a European trophy. And we have an opportunity to take another step in that direction immediately here as Zabitzer delivers the free kick, and it's into a good area and it's headed away by Barcelona and out for a corner. Danny almost starting for Barca today, but already has picked up a knock by the looks of things. But João Cancelo will deliver the corner. Again into a good area, finds Nico Schlotterbeck, headed clear off the line. Will fall to Cancelo though. And Felix Metscher spreads it wide to Moukoko, who finds Jamie Gittens, who faces up his man. Can't beat him though. Does just lay it back to Cancelo. Not too many options on ahead of him. Cancelo will shoot from range, and it's a comfortable one in the end from Ter Stegen. Did open up for João Cancelo in the end there. Looked as though the chance was going to be gone, to be honest. And it's a good challenge from Cancelo in a defensive position once again now. It's been really impressive since joining on deadline day over the summer, I think, Cancelo. It's maybe not quite made a significant impact in terms of goals, in terms of assists, but it's certainly been an upgrade over the likes of LAMBZY and certainly Jakub Kiwior, who's been a real disappointment. That's a big save. Big save from Georgi Petrovic. Georgi, not Dordi. I was corrected in the comments with that one. And he, I think, has also made a big impact since arriving in the summer. Not always a positive impact, though, unfortunately. Jan Couto on the overlapping run, found by Karim Adeyemi, who's found once again by Couto, who manages to squeeze the shot in. And we have got off to a blistering start here at home. Good challenge, but Barca hardly able to touch the ball here in the opening 11 minutes. And certainly have barely touched the ball in our half. And our attacking third, or our defensive third rather. Lofted into the box, and Adeyemi at the back post. Barca defender climbing all over him. Referee allows him to do so, and Couto takes a tumble, which means it's Anton one-on-one with Rahimi out on this left-hand side. What a good decision we made, selling Niklas Söller and holding on to Anton, by the way. Heading into the Carimo save, I thought Söller was going to be our guy. I thought we were going to revive his career. Just based on his kind of overall and his attributes, he looked like the much better defender. Great challenge from Metscher and given away, but thankfully recovered. But Anton, despite the fact that his attributes look kind of underwhelming, has been a really solid presence at the back, and especially alongside Nico Schlotterbeck. Couto finds Metscher, and there is Anton. Spots Zabitzer. Nicely worked this, and we find Adeyemi out on his right-hand side, and Max Bayer has made a great run, and Bayer is just about going to get there. Oh, and Adeyemi can't quite find Moukoko. Moukoko does find Gittens, though, and it's a big save from Ter Stegen, and the ball still pinballing around, and Gittens puts it miles wide in the end. Frantic football in the Barca penalty area. Ter Stegen had 2 or 3 cracks at that. First from Max Bayer, who just about beat him to the ball. Ter Stegen made the save, but couldn't hold on to it. Eventually, it fell for Moukoko, who slipped it in behind for Gittins, who had 2 bites at the cherry because Ter Stegen couldn't hold on. But eventually just lashed at the shot, Gittins, and put it was closer to a throw-in than it was to a goal in the end. But a couple of really good and unexpected opportunities to take the lead here against Barcelona. And again, that's excellent defending, and we are away on this left-hand side. Jamie Gittins is going to be in behind. Unfortunately, he's got Jules Koundé for company, who has hacked him down, and it's going to be a yellow, I'd imagine, and it is. Koundé pacey enough to keep up with Gittins, but lunged in with the challenge. And ultimately, it was a poor one. He probably could have just followed him down the line there. Didn't need to make the challenge. And again, we're going to be well positioned to deliver this. I'm not sure we really have a left footer that would be an ideal candidate to take this free kick, but it is going to be Adeyemi. And it's a deep one towards Moukoko, who has a free header and who ultimately puts it wide. But another excellent opportunity, kind of out of the blue there. Adeyemi just lofting the ball into the box, and it's Moukoko just drifting in, who ends up turning the ball towards goal. But again, it's a poor finish. And I really hope we don't come to rue these missed opportunities come the end of the game, because we have certainly had the better of Barcelona here in the opening 25 minutes. We have been unable to open the scoring. Good ball from Couto into Adeyemi. He will just loft it in towards Moukoko again, this time headed clear by Barca. Zabitzer, good little run from Gittins. I think he was offside and he decided to get back onside just as Zabitzer was trying to play that ball through. Rafinha, player I really like. How he was ever playing for Leeds United is a mystery. Sometimes there's those players that are just far too good for their team, and you kind of look back a few years after they've left and you think, how were they ever, like, playing in the Championship? Just unreal. Rafinha certainly one of those players. Lewandowski, not seen much of him so far. Just as I say that, watch him open the scoring. Mecha, good defending on the edge of the box. Good save again from Petrovic. And hook clear from Cancelo. Jamie Gittins finds Couto on the far side. We could do with Mecha taking up a slightly more advanced position there. There was a little bit of space if Mecha was willing to run into it, but he wasn't. But yeah, we haven't seen much from Lewandowski just yet. Obviously an extremely talented, clinical, prolific striker. Give him an opportunity, he's almost certainly going to take it. So we need to try and make sure he doesn't get those opportunities in the first place. And if we can craft an opportunity for Max Bayer, even better. And it's Couto on the near side this time. It's been hacked down. And it's going to be another booking for another Barca man, this time Raheem. So 2 players, 1 on each flank, with a yellow card now for Barcelona. So if we can continue to get Cancelo, get Couto forward, we could put these Barca defenders in a slightly tricky position. Max Bayer pressing Koundé high. Garcia again, and Bayer almost well positioned to steal that away. Couto dropping in, and Rahimi. No Lamine Yamal today. Not even on the bench, I believe, for Barcelona, which is a strange one. Couto can't make the challenge, and it's a decent enough cross, and it's not cleared away. Instead, all we managed to do is find a Barca player on the edge of the box, and it was Lewandowski. Not the clearest cut opportunity he's going to get. And again, hopefully we can minimise the number of opportunities that he does get, and if that's the best opportunity Lewandowski gets in this game, I fancy us to come away with the result. The corner recycled, turned towards goal. blocked before Petrovic could make the save. And Jamie Gittins is just going to have to carry us up the field here. Moukoko up in support. Gittins just continues to drive. And just as he's about to pull it back to Max Bayer, Koundé gets in a position to make the recovery challenge. Oh, and we've lunged in with Cancelo there. And Rafinha's eating us for breakfast. 2-on-1 now as Anton comes across to cover. And it's excellent defending. Jamie Gittins was just about to pull that across to Max Bayer. And Bayer would have been well positioned to get a shot away on the edge of the box. Oh, that's so poor from Schlotterbeck. Gives it straight to Rafinha. Thankfully makes the recovery challenge himself. And Couto comes back to help out as well. Really dangerous from Schlotterbeck though. This could be dangerous. Max Bayer in behind. It's a poor pass from Adeyemi. And Couto just lets it go out of play. Will be a Dortmund throw though, which Mecha will collect. Such a poor touch. Thankfully it goes out of play for another throw-in, but a really poor touch from Mecha. Didn't need to give the ball away there. Didn't need to give the Barca man the opportunity to make a challenge. Sabitzer, victim of his own 2-on-1. Did well to hold on to the ball though. Just retaining possession. And Schlotterbeck, it's a better pass, finds Gittins out on the left. Oh, and it's great feet. Just shows it to the Barca man. Takes it away at the last second. And I think it's going to be another booking. And it is for Clement Lenglet, who starts in midfield today. Would ordinarily expect to see him at centre-back, but he captains Barca from a holding midfield role. And it's the second booking that Jamie Gittins has been responsible for forcing Barcelona to collect. And it's the third booking total in the game so far. Adeyemi drives, pulls it back to Max Bayer. Crowded out on the edge of the box. Mecha just finds Adeyemi. Oh, and it's such a good challenge again from Koundé. Again, a perfectly timed challenge at a perfect moment too. Oh, and Cancelo's being beaten all ends up on our defensive left-hand side by Rafinha. And once again, it's a good recovery challenge from Cancelo though. Referee disagrees. Gives a free kick. Cancelo really struggling against Rafinha. Potentially we should be looking to drop Jamie Gittins in and give Cancelo a little more help. Gittins is having just as much success against Koundé though. We've got to get up for that, and we don't. Oh my god. Off the post. Rolls all the way across the line. And out for a goal kick on the opposite side. Mecha leaping doesn't get there, and how that hasn't ended up in the back of the net, I do not know. We certainly had the better of this first half, but I think that's easily the closest that either team has come to scoring. So although we've, I think, outmatched Barcelona in that first half, I think we need to feel very fortunate that we're going into the break with the scores level, because we could easily be a goal down at this point. Robert Lewandowski, we've done an excellent job of keeping quiet though. We said that's what we need to do to get a result in this game. We've done it in the first half. Need to continue to do it in the second. If you're enjoying the game and today's episode, please take a second to like the video. And if you want to see more realistic FC 25 content, be sure to subscribe, not just to catch the next episode of this series, but other realistic career modes, realistic rebuilds, slider updates that might be dropping in the future. And if you want to get ahead of the curve and see those kinds of videos before anybody else, consider becoming a 12th man member of the channel. Membership starts at just $1.99 a month and grants you exclusive early access to all new videos, with tier rewards scaling up from there and including the possibility of being featured in my career mode saves. Thank you to everyone who is already supporting the channel through their membership. It is genuinely very much appreciated and helps the channel to run. But now let's head back out for the second half. So no changes as the teams emerge for the second period. So looking like we're going to have to make some changes before too long though. Jamie Gittins looking a little less than fresh. The same for Nico Schlotterbeck. Continues to be that way. Not sure what has happened to Nico Schlotterbeck's fitness, but he's rarely able to complete 90 minutes anymore. Headed clear by Mecha this time, only as far as Spaliers, who I think was also playing centre midfield for Barcelona today, is he not? And it opens up, and oh my god, I thought we were going to see the first goal in favour of Barcelona again there. Lewandowski, second shot of the game, probably beats Petrovic, but skims the post on the way past. Schlotterbeck finds Cancelo, who finds Gittins, who again just drives at Koundé and beats him, and pulls it back from Moukoko, who slots it into the path of Max Bayer. Really well worked, and Max Bayer with a clinical finish opens the scoring. Excellent move down that left-hand side, pinpoint precision. First as Jamie Gittins skips away from Koundé, and then on the squared pass to Moukoko, and then the weight on that pass from Moukoko just to lay it into the path of Max Bayer was absolutely perfect, as was the finish. I think it was, if it was any further to the right, that would have come back off the post. I think if it was any further to the left, Ter Stegen would have been able to make the save. But it's a precise, clinical finish from Max Bayer, who extends his lead at the top of the goal scoring charts, ahead of Robert Lewandowski. What a season Max Bayer is having. What a breakout. I don't think I've ever experienced anything quite like it on FC. Absolutely monumental season, and it's just come from nowhere. Adeyemi pulls it back, can't quite thread the gap. Certainly came on last season, Max Bayer, but he's just gone from strength to strength, and is having yet another unbelievable campaign, exceeding expectations. Rahimi, Mecha dropping in, Couto starting to tire now on that right hand side, and I think we will take the pressure off him just a little. With a 1-goal lead, I think we could afford to sit back just a little bit. Not sit back exactly, but just try and protect this lead a little bit and play a little more conservatively. Oh, that's such a poor pass from Cancelo, who's had a really poor game, to be fair, both defensively and going forward. I think we might make a change there, to be honest. But I think primarily the changes that we are going to be looking to make are going to be tactical. Big save, Petrovic. I think we need to ask Couto to sit in. Who's that pass to? Lewandowski, straight at Petrovic. Who was that pass to? Really, really sloppy play at the back. As Pedri comes on for Rahimi, we're going to make a change or two here as well. And it's actually going to be 3 changes for Nuri Sahin and Borussia Dortmund. Martel, Matoma and Frankowski all coming on. And some slight tactical tweaks too, with the intention of protecting this 1-goal lead. Matoma on that left-hand side. Cancelo keeps his place, but Matoma should provide a little bit of cover, as Adeyemi has got to be in behind here, and he is, and Moukoko has to be up in support. Adeyemi squares it for Moukoko, who misses a golden opportunity. Absolutely gilt-edged chance for Moukoko. The ball fell for Max Bayer, who played in Adeyemi on the quick counter-attack after the Barcelona corner. And we were in behind. 2-on-1 against the goalkeeper. Not even 2-on-1 against the defender, but against the goalkeeper. Martel. Big strike from the edge of the box. But how Moukoko hasn't just slotted that past Ter Stegen, I have no idea. Also having an excellent season. Not quite the season that Max Bayer is having, but a very, very good season in his own right, Youssoufa Moukoko. But that is bizarre. Couldn't even get the shot on target. But we have Matoma on that left-hand side to hopefully provide a little more cover for João Cancelo against Rafinha. And it falls for Martel, who again gets the shot away. Lofted in towards Matoma at the back post. Martel once again on the edge of the box. Brought Martel on just to play a holding role. Again to provide a bit more cover on that left-hand side for João Cancelo. What a challenge that is for Frankowski. But Martel finding himself involved on the edge of the box at the other end of the pitch at the moment. Matoma. Oh, and it's a poor pass from Martel. Matoma just looking for the little 1-2. Good challenge from Martel, though. And Matoma will carry the ball upfield before laying it into the path of Moukoko. Matoma once again beats one. Can't beat a second, but only because he is illegally impeded. So it's going to be a free kick in a good position. And here comes Lamine Yamal. Yamal was on the bench for Barcelona all along. I didn't see him in the lineups ahead of the game. But he comes on now, and João Cancelo will be taking the free kick. Marcel Sabitzer has come off. So it's going to be down to João Cancelo, who's had a really difficult game so far, but could have an opportunity to redeem himself here. And it looks to be a good one, to be fair. Up and over the wall, and off the post! And again, Ter Stegen finds the ball just falling into his arms before he throws it out of play. Absolutely bizarre from Ter Stegen. But an incredible free kick from João Cancelo from range. That was deep, but hits the post. Moukoko, just can't quite find Mecha on the edge of the box. We really deserve a second goal in this game, because the longer it goes with just a one-goal advantage, the less secure I feel about being able to hold on to that lead and come away with the victory. Great challenge, Schlotterbeck, and thankfully offside. Great angle. But 20 minutes to go. And we've said it a number of times this season. Don't think a single goal is going to be enough. Based on the way that we've played, I feel a bit more confident than I ordinarily would that a single goal could be enough. I really feel like we've outmatched Barcelona in all aspects of the game, really. Adeyemi in behind, so nicely worked. And Adeyemi finds Bayer. Adeyemi once again pulls it back for Bayer once again, and it's a big save, but Matoma puts it wide. It's almost a carbon copy of Gitten's opportunity in the first half. What a save from Ter Stegen, and the goal is gaping. An empty net as Ter Stegen is on the ground. And we just cannot put the ball into an empty net, it seems. Bayer, with the most difficult opportunity of the game, does manage to score. But we've had, what, 3-4 gilt-edged opportunities to score an additional goal. Haven't managed to take any of them. And it really feels like we're going to come to rue those missed opportunities. It just feels like one of those games that you absolutely dominate, fail to take full advantage of the opportunities you create, and a late goal allows the opposition to come away with a draw. It's a story we've seen play out infinite times in football history. Feels like it's going to play out again here today. We'll do our best to prevent that. Oh, it's a good cross from Yamal. Thankfully headed clear by Frankowski at the back post. And Adeyemi can bring the ball away. And Moukoko can lay it into the path of Matoma, who's not quite going to get there. Does steal it away, though. Kaoru Matoma tries to cut inside, but fails. It's a good challenge, to be fair, by the Barca defender. Max Bayer didn't do Matoma too many favours there. Really, all he did was kill his space. The space that Matoma hopefully was going to work in. Max Bayer could have done with just holding his position across the penalty area to either wait for a squared ball across. That's going to be a goal kick. Or at the very least, just occupy that defender. Just give him a decision to make. Instead, the decision was an easy one. Just follows Max Bayer over. Because that's where Matoma is anyway. Adeyemi. Martel. Who's looked good since coming on, to be fair. It's been up and down, Martel. Overall, probably a disappointment since arriving in Season 1. Matoma. As Barca press high. Matoma can't work it clear. And it's Olmo against Anton. One-on-one in the penalty area. Olmo twisting and turning. Anton twisting and turning with him so far. Big save from Petrovic. And it didn't fall for Lewandowski. Looked for a minute there as if the ball was going to fall to the Barca number 9. And when we find Max Bayer. And there's Moukoko. Moukoko drives. Beats his man. And it's a rash, hurried, poor effort again from Moukoko, who just has not had his shooting boots on. But we will make our final 2 changes as we enter the last 5 minutes or so of the game. Last 5 of the regulation 90 anyway. Omar Acic and Arne Engels on to replace Schlotterbeck and Felix Metscher, who has done some hard yards in midfield for us today. Just 5 minutes to hold on and come away with this victory, which again I think would be a significant one. Not too much in terms of... It won't have a particularly big impact on our season. It's just going to be our 6th game played in the league portion of the Champions League. I mean, it's going to be a useful 3 points on the board for sure, and will potentially help us to secure automatic progression to the knockout stages. But ultimately not a huge impact on our season, but on our morale, on our momentum, on our perception around the footballing world. I think this win could have a huge impact. Cancelo looks for Bayer at the back post, headed up rather than away by the Barca defender, and then eventually away. Longley. Koundé finds Lamine Yamal. Matoma tracking back. Forces the ball out of Lamine Yamal's feet. Lewandowski, who we have continued to keep quiet. We need Adeyemi to drop in. And he eventually does. Ball delivered deep. Headed clear by João Cancelo. And that's such a poor pass from Moukoko. He's had such a bad game. He had an opportunity to carry the ball up the field there. Big save, Petrovic. That's the clearest opportunity that Lewandowski's had so far. Petrovic thankfully keeps us ahead. Moukoko's been so poor. Had an opportunity just to carry the ball up the field there and see the rest of this game out. Moukoko just gives it away. And that is huge. That is huge goalkeeping from Petrovic, and it wins us the game. Comes and claims that corner. Comes through bodies. Big, strong, brave goalkeeping. Secures the ball, secures the victory. A big, big victory, I believe. Again, not going to have a particularly tangible impact at this moment in time, but I think it's going to have a huge impact in terms of the intangible. And we could be looking back at this moment at the end of the season and saying that it defines our season. So that win takes us up to 5th position in the Champions League table and sets us up with a really good opportunity to progress to the knockout stages automatically. It's back to Bundesliga action for the remainder of the episode though, as we just look to keep pace with Leverkusen and Bayern Munich, who are still 2 and 6 points ahead of us respectively. However, we're also looking to create a bit more distance between us and the chasing pack below us, one of whom is Borussia Mönchengladbach. That 1-0 win against Barcelona in the last game was really something of an aberration this season, but we were back amongst the goals in this one. Karim Adeyemi opening the scoring in stylistic fashion. And it wasn't long before Merlin Röhl added a second. João Cancelo crossing from a corner, and Merlin Röhl heading back across the keeper to double our lead. In typical Dortmund fashion, though, we fell asleep at the back and allowed Mönchengladbach to get a goal of their own. But Karim Adeyemi wasn't quite happy enough with his first wonder goal. He needed to add a second, even better finish. That made it 3-1, and Max Bayer even found time to make it 4-1 before the break. Thiago Thomas slipping him in behind. The first shot initially saved, but by tapping home the rebound. We started the second half in equally free-scoring fashion. Jan Couto cutting in off the right-hand side and firing home. A composed Rocco Wright's penalty would give Mönchengladbach a second consolation goal, but when Max Bayer broke through on goal after a quick counter-attack, there was only one outcome, and he grabbed his second goal of the game, his third of the episode, to make it 6-2, which gives us an opportunity to make it a perfect episode as we travel to Freiburg in our final game. We don't quite manage it. It is an unbeaten episode at the very least, but we drop points coming away only with a 0-0 draw. Tough to find too much to complain about though, to be honest. 3 wins in a draw. We scored 9 goals in the process. We beat Barcelona in the process. We even managed to keep 3 clean sheets in today's episode. And that certainly is an aberration for us. It does maintain our position in third in the Bundesliga. Bayer Leverkusen and Bayern Munich now have a game in hand over us, however. And as we've already seen, we are well positioned to progress to the next round of the Champions League. Just 2 games remaining, and we'll get to each of those games in the next episode, traveling not only to Marseille, but also to Lens to round out the league portion of the Champions League. Some interesting games on the Bundesliga slate too. 2 matches against Mainz, both home and away, in the space of a week. We take on Freiburg and Mönchengladbach, both opponents from today's episode, and we'll be taking on Hamburg as well. The next episode will also see the calendar tick over into January, which of course means the opening of the January transfer window. Not expecting too much business to be done, but we could well see a couple of departures, even if we don't see any arrivals. So we'll get to all of that in the next episode. I hope to see you there. Take it easy.